This video will provide the operational steps for using the safety stopper tool to abandon or renew plug Ts on a steel gas distribution main. Do not operate the safety stopper if the T is severely corroded or the surface is uneven. Always read operating instructions to prevent injuries and equipment damage. Check for worn parts, loose bolts, and damaged O-rings. A well-maintained tool is essential for safety. Clean and lubricate all shafts before and after use to ensure proper operation. Open and close the ball valve to confirm operation. Secure loose clothing, long hair, and jewelry to prevent accidents. Keep the area clear of clutter and limit access to authorized personnel. Always wear company-approved personal protective equipment. Adhere to your internal gas company standards and procedures above anything presented in this video or related media. Clean the T area down to bare metal where the aluminum disc, chains, and housing will be positioned, removing all corrosion and scale. Failure to carry out this step may allow the tool assembly to move and gas to escape. Before installing the safety stopper, ensure the plug adapter fits appropriately over the service T-plug. The tool should bottom out on the plug with good magnetic attachment strength. Some hand filing or grinding may be necessary to remove the manufacturer's stamping or casting ridges. Loosen the plug to break the initial seal. This will make the plug removal operation possible. Use penetrating oil and a long handle pipe wrench to loosen the plug if necessary. Take care not to round off the raised castings located on the plug. Do not attempt the safety stopper operation if the plug cannot be loosened. Gather the following parts for base assembly installation: the plug housing, turnbuckles, chains, and size-specific reducer ring. Select the correct sized aluminum disc to match the T size and place it over the boss of the T. Install the base housing over the ring. Install each turnbuckle chain pin into the base housing hooks. To secure the base housing with the chains on a main 3 inches and smaller, fit the appropriately sized poly spacer under the pipe before tightening the chains. Fit the roller chain pin into the turnbuckle J hook. Fit the ball valve on top of the base housing. Tighten the ball valve until it compresses the O-ring at the bottom of the threads on the base housing. Fit the plug adapter on the T-handle and tighten it using the T-handle hex wrench. Locate the assembled adapter over the square plug. This will help keep the assembly centralized as the chains are tightened. Tighten the chain equally and alternately until noticeable resistance is felt. Do not completely tighten one turnbuckle before tightening the other. Ensure that all links lie flat against the pipe. Retighten the chains, making sure not to twist them. Do not over-tighten. Tighten the housing onto the ball valve. Before removing the plug, perform an equipment integrity leak check. Push on the gauge assembly and open the bleeder valve. Make sure the gauge relief valve is fully closed. Push down on the T-handle and slightly loosen the plug to fill the chamber with gas. Keep a slight downward pressure on the T-handle to prevent the gas pressure from pushing the shaft up unexpectedly. If all assembly connections are sealed, and turn the plug counterclockwise. You will know the plug has been disconnected from the T when it is felt or heard skipping over the T's threads. Then, remove the plug by retracting it to above the ball valve. Close the ball valve and bleed off the excess gas using the chrome-plated bleeder valve. Then remove the T-handle assembly with the captured plug. Install the viewport. Use a flashlight and look through the viewport to ensure that there are no obstructions within the T, so the rubber stopper or self-tap plug can be inserted to stop the flow of gas. Choose a method to stop the flow of gas, either use a rubber or self-tap plug. Look through the viewport to determine if the hole in the main is round and centralized within the T. If yes, a self-tap plug can be inserted into the main hole to stop the gas flow. Choose the correct size self-tap plug to insert into the main to stop the gas flow to the service branch. Tightly wrap the plug with thread tape. Insert the hex end first into the housing, or attach the socket adapter onto the T-handle assembly. Use the hex wrench to secure the adapter to the shaft end by tightening the screw. Attach the assembly to the ball valve. Open the ball valve and push down on the shaft until the self-tap plug enters the hole in the main. Maintain downward pressure and tighten the self-tap plug by turning the hex clockwise. When noticeable resistance is felt, open the bleed valve. Continue to tighten until the sound of blowing gas is no longer heard and the service outlet is safely stopped. Bleed off any remaining gas that may exist downstream, such as opening the meter valve or other approved company methods. Look through the viewport to ensure the self-tap plug is correctly installed. Then, remove the equipment. The operation is complete. Abandon or renew service T according to company-approved procedures and standards. When using the rubber plug method, choose the correct size plug and fasten it to the bayonet mount shaft. To attach and expand the plug, push the stem end into the hole inside the shaft. Then push and turn the plug counterclockwise so the plug pin engages the offset slot. Gently turn the small T-handle clockwise until you hear it click. This indicates that the small pin inside the shaft fully engages the dimple on the plug and will expand the plug. Measure the travel needed to expand the plug below the service branch by lining up the lip edge of the housing assembly with the lip edge of the ball valve. Push to extend the shaft so the top washer locates below the outlet. Make sure to keep the shaft straight. Tighten the collar on the shaft to reference the necessary travel. Fully retract the shaft and fasten the assembly onto the ball valve. Make sure the bleed valve is in the closed position. Hold the shaft in the fully retracted position with one hand and slowly open the ball valve. Push the shaft down to the collar and simultaneously hold the shaft into position and turn the small T-handle clockwise to expand the plug. Tighten until noticeable resistance is felt. Do not over-tighten. Open the bleed valve. If necessary, continue turning clockwise in quarter turns to expand the plug until the sound of blowing gas has stopped. Tighten the shaft brake. Further verify downstream that the service is stopped, such as opening the meter valve or using other company-approved means. Complete renewal or abandonment procedures according to company standards. The operation is now complete. To detach the expansion plug from the shaft by following these steps, loosen shaft reference collar with hex wrench. Simultaneously push down slightly on the shaft, pull up on the small T-handle, and turn the shaft clockwise until the plug disengages. Retract the shaft end above the ball valve, close the ball valve, and bleed off excess gas. Remove the assembly. Fit the viewport and open the ball valve. Before proceeding to the next step, check that the expansion plug has been properly inserted into the throat of the T. If the expansion plug accidentally disconnects from the shaft, use the magnet attachment connected to the T-handle shaft to remove the plug. To remove the expansion plug from the T, simply reverse the installation operational steps. Now that the plug is in the T's throat, the rubber plug operation is complete, and the outlet can be cut and capped, leaving the T in place with a short outlet stub. Use this optional procedure when the hole in the main is larger than the bore of the T and you want to remove the T. Assemble the T-handle and housing with the plug adapter on the end. Fit the security plug onto the adapter. Install the extension housing. Insert the safety plug into the T to secure the expander plug during branch cutting. Once installed, remove the assembly. Fit the viewport to confirm correct security plug installation. If all looks good, remove the equipment. Cut the branch near the chimney. Tighten the plug with a pipe wrench. Loosen the T to break the initial seal, ensuring the plug is tighter than the T. Place the correct size coupling seal over the severed T. Fit the half collars around the base of the seal. Tighten the collars using a hex wrench, and be careful not to pinch the rubber. Secure the assembly with base housing and chains, ensuring the T is centralized. Install the ball valve and the extension housing. With the plug adapter engaged, fully tighten the chains. This will maintain assembly alignment to make the T removal easier. Tighten the housing. Turn the T-handle counterclockwise to remove the T. Once the T disengages from the coupling, withdraw the captured fitting above the ball valve. Close the ball valve, bleed off excess gas, remove the captured T. Remove the extension housing. Install the correct size square head plug into the coupling and tighten it. Withdraw the shaft and close the ball valve. Fit the view port and check to ensure the plug is installed correctly. Remove the equipment. Further tighten the plug as necessary. The operation is complete.